You're a doctor. I didn't see your badge. Sorry.
I'm a doctor. So why the hell am I talking to you? Piss off.
Hey, Katrina Porter.
Hey, Amasreen.
Welcome to Split Happens. Everyone else.
Welcome, everybody.
Each episode, Katrina and
Me,
I.
you,
Katrina and I.
me,
Yeah. Katrina and I
me and you.
talk about a movie that both of us love, but one of us will be sad because they're going to have to act like they hate it and attack it with most likely absolute garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
If we took this seriously and actually attacked it for like legitimate things, that would just be depressing.
and we wouldn't believe it?
No. Like you were saying earlier, like occasionally I'll look and see like, well, what did somebody else say about this movie? Like, what criticism did they have? Was it valid? And as soon as I read it, I'm like, well, that's stupid.
My go-to whenever I read somebody's criticism about a movie that we love is like, this fucking tight ass.
Yeah.
Like, lighten up, man.
It's an 80s movie.
Right.
Probably, most likely for us.
There isn't really a luck dragon.
We have one rule here at Split Happens. The con, which is me today, the con only has to attack during the synopsis when we run through that. And during that time, the con, me, can't say anything nice about the movie, even if I really, really, really want to. I can't. Because if I slip and say something good, I'm going to earn a penalty, and Katrina is going to call me out on it.
Yeah, I am.
And hit a big red button, and it's going to make this sound.
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
That means I'm going to have to say something nice about the movie that I hate the most, and you all probably know it because I've had about 800 button pushes because I'm not disciplined.
No.
The movie I keep having to give love to that I really, really don't want to because I hate it is the remake of Clash of the Titans.
And the movie that I have not had to talk about as much because I am more disciplined, thank God, is the absolute garbage piece of shit Hannibal.
Today I'm the con. So I am going to approach this attack like I am an undervalued member of a corporate company getting coffee for a boss
What?
that doesn't deserve it, and I'm gonna poison it. I'm the movie. I'm gonna poison the movie. I'm gonna poison the movie with not Skinny and Sweet. I'm gonna poison the movie with rat poison. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Well, that rambling bunch of nonsense can only mean that we are talking about 1980s 9 to 5. Bing, 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 ka-dang, ka-ba-ba-ba.
This was one of the harder movies I've had to take notes.
You are screwed. This movie is so good.
Every movie we do is so good.
I know, but for whatever reason, and what I'm getting ready to say I hadn't thought about, so it probably doesn't make sense, it doesn't seem like 1980 to me.
That's funny, because when I watched it, it seemed extremely 1980
Really?
to me. Tell me a little bit about the movie so I can drink.
Okay.
A drinky
Your
drink.
Calamocho?
Yep. Oh, ice. Sorry, my bad.
Sorry. So everyone take a pause so Anna can clink around over there. For once, it's not her joints. This is the first female-dominated film to gross $100 million.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
100, and I didn't look it up because I was lazy. I don't know what the highest grossing movie of 1980 was, but I know this was the second highest grossing movie. This movie ranks 74th on the American Film Institute's top 100 funniest movies.
Bullshit. Why is it so far down the list?
Haters. The person who wrote this and directed it is Colin Higgins, which makes me think of Ted Lasso. Higgins. He also was a writer for Harold and Maude and A movie that I don't think we have on our list, but we probably should. Foul Play.
Foul Play.
Foul Play.
Really? I may have seen that once.
What? With Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn?
Yeah, I know what it is.
And the albino?
Yeah,
and the little person?
Oh my God.
And the Foul Play?
I didn't do it. I've only seen it once. I was busy watching 9 to 5.
It's got, Arthur.
Oh.
Who's Arthur?
Higgins.
No. Robert Picklewich?
Not Rodney Dangerfield. That's silly. It is Arthur.
I think it's Picklewich.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not, because you definitely look sincere.
Flumberbum.
Dudley Moore. It's Dudley Moore.
Dang it!
Yes.
Dudley Cumberbunch.
Dudley Moore. Just Dudley Moore.
Okay, if that's how you know him.
I want a confirmation that I got that from my brain hole.
I'm shocked. I would say I'm gobsmacked.
You were like Googling, and this was like some straight up, what's that, the Axe story?
Lizzie Borden?
No. No, you psycho. No.
What Axe story?
The Axe story.
The babe in the blue,
Thank you, you got it.
something in the big blue.
Paul Bunyan?
Paul Bunyan.
Who's the one that had the competition with the, like, he was going to cut down all the trees?
Charles?
No, it's...
Abraham Lincoln.
Nope. And it was a competition for cutting down trees against new technology.
Did he want to be in this competition?
Yes.
You sure about that?
I'm not even 100% sure it was cutting down trees. It might have been laying railroad tracks. I am 100% confident. It was either cutting down trees or laying railroad tracks, or it might have been planting. No, that was Johnny Appleseed. Never mind. Anyway, my point is Dudley Moore against your Google.
I could tell you the people that are going to be in this movie to begin with, but I'm not going to. I'm going to talk about them as we go along. I mean, I could just say blah, 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 blah was in it, but I'm just going to tell you as I go along.
You know what I think you should do? Instead of going blah, 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 say their actual names. Be bold.
Speaking of names.
Yes.
There's one name that's very important for me to mention right now. And it is Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, God. Okay.
Tonight is the first Thursday night football game, and the Chiefs are playing the Chargers. But you know what? I'm here. I'm here with you all. That's love and dedication and maybe some procrastination, because here we are and we have to do it tonight.
You know what? I'm not going to give you any shit about Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, because you were extremely supportive during hockey season, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. Oh, fuck. We're losing, though. Oh, God. Okay. Anyway.
All right. I will just say, going along with my theme of how I've been doing things, I don't think I have a single legitimate criticism. It's going to be a lot of silliness.
So I was kind of surprised. I thought that when I started looking up trivia, there'd be a ton, and there's not. However, there must be way more than I could find, because I think this week there's a documentary coming out about the making of 9 to 5.
Oh, that's good timing.
Let's get to it.
Right.
Play the fucking song, man.
Play the fucking song.
Let the games begin.
This movie, as everyone knows, starts with a kick ass song, surprisingly called 9 to 5. So Dolly Parton wrote it, and it, of course, was nominated for Best Song at the Oscars, and it won the Grammy. When Dolly Parton, who sang the song and is in this movie, which we'll get to, after she wrote the song, when she presented it to the people that were going to say, yes, it's in, no, it's not, which included Jane Fonda. This movie was like her third movie for her production company, Jane Fonda. So Dolly Parton, she didn't have any instruments or anything, so she just used like her fingernails. She's like, dun 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 dun. So when she's notorious for having these kind of like one-liners. She can be very, very self-deprecating, but in a silly way. But when she started like tapping to do it, she's like, it helps to have falsies, and false nails help too. So she's talking about her titties, of course.
Yes.
She's so funny.
Those aren't her real titties?
Oh, sweetie.
That's a criticism. This opens with like a bunch of people like in the city, and that there's a lady that runs her ass off in high heels, and the bus takes off without her. I don't like that. You know how hard it is to run in high heels?
You know what?
Took a struggle she should have gotten in. Also, there's too many people in this opening. I don't like that either.
So we see Jane Fonda, who plays Judy, and it's interesting. The three main characters are Dorley, who is Dolly Parton, Jane Fonda, who is Judy, and Lily Tomlin, who plays Violet. So Lily, Violet, Judy, Jane.
Judy's not a flower.
It's a fucking J, man. Get it? Jane Fonda met with divorced middle-aged women to prepare for this role.
Fucking seriously.
No, she really did. And she picked her wardrobe to try to look dowdy, like buttoned up shirt, glasses.
In order to prepare for my role, I had to speak with people that have actually been divorced.
Judy, Jane Fonda.
Yeah, people are not very nice to Judy here.
They're
I don't
not
like that.
okay. They're not nice to Judy, but so she's starting the first day of a job, as a secretary. She's clearly has no idea what she's doing. Violet, played by Lily Tomlin, clearly knows how to do everything, and she's not super stoked to have Judy on her team because it's someone else that Violet has to take care of.
You know what else Violet is having to take care of?
What?
She's wearing a fucking kimono.
Yeah,
Did you
she
hear
is.
that?
She looks gorgeous.
A kimono.
Yeah.
Was that big in 1980?
Yeah, of course.
You would probably remember it because you were 15 years old then.
I was 3, you goddamn asshole. So anyway, Lily Tomlin almost passed on this movie because she was doing The Incredible Shrinking Woman.
I love that movie.
Yeah. But she convinced the people doing Incredible Shrinking Woman to do other things besides her parts so she could do this as well.
God, that was at the same time.
This was pretty early on in Lily Tomlin's career. She was very nervous.
I'm surprised by that. I'm surprised by that.
Yeah. Judy and Violet see Roz. Roz is the administrative assistant for Mr. Hart, who's the big boss. And she seems like a real pain in the ass.
She fucking sucks.
Yeah, she does. Dabney Coleman plays Mr. Hart, and he is fantastic. He's so good in this. And Jane Fonda loved him so much in this that she picked him to be her husband on Golden Pond.
You know what's crazy?
What?
Except for Dabney Coleman. And it's not far off either. But except for Dabney Coleman, we are older than all of these characters. And yet somehow they look older than us.
That's impossible.
I'm positive. I looked it all up. Dabney Coleman was just like 3 years older than us, and everybody else is younger.
What?
Yeah. Dolly was in her 30s. Early 30s.
Okay, well, you know what? We moisturize. What can I say?
You know what, though? I'm going to say, I think it's because in the 80s, the styling made you look older.
Yeah. Well, and especially Jane Fonda. I mean, she had to look like a middle-aged divorced lady.
Yeah. Once she threw that god-awful wig on her head.
What wig?
She is absolutely wearing a wig, and so is Dolly.
No, they're not.
Excuse me?
Whoa.
Dolly's hairline is an inch away from her eyebrows.
You know what? You know what I say? Prove it. Mr. Hart is going on and on about teamwork bullshit, and he manages to be misogynistic in like 12 different ways. He says girls about 11 times.
Oh, he's the fucking worst.
And then he's talking about one of them being attractive, and he's like, you should see some of the crones around here. He's like, pathetic. The Queen, Dolly Parton, shows up. She plays Dorley.
Mm-hmm.
And she is head to toe gorgeous, and I don't want to hear anything else about it.
Not saying anything about her looks, except for that she is definitely wearing a wig.
Boo. This was Dolly's first movie. She didn't really understand the mechanics of movie making. So not only did she learn her lines, she learned the entire script because she thought that's what you did. And she also thought that it was shot in chronological order. And at one point, Jane Fonda, who has been pretty open about her struggles with her weight and bulimia, I believe.
Yes.
At one point, she tells Dolly Parton, girl, you need to lay off the food a little bit because, right, in this scene, you might look like this. But if you keep eating like that, when we shoot another scene where you're wearing the same outfit, you're going to look huge. And I think she was nicer about it, but Dolly was like, yeah, you could really see it. Like in one of the outfits that she's wearing yellow in, you can definitely see her body type's a little different in the scenes. The fact that this is her first movie, I think she's great. She's absolutely great in it. She's perfect for the role. Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin were like, okay, we need Dolly Parton. She's going to kind of bring the West to the character, the West to the movie.
Did they need that?
Yeah, why not? It's multicultural. Dorley is Mr. Hart's secretary, and Judy looks at her like Dorley was the one who sat on her husband's face and ended their marriage.
Bunch of bullying bitches. What happened to women supporting women?
This scene is so accurate to how women oftentimes treat each other, particularly in workplaces, particularly in male-dominated workplaces where there are only so many positions that a female's going to get. Mr. Hart has Dorley come into his office so he can sexually harass her. He tries to apologize, and he's like, he reminded me so much of Adam Sandler and Happy Gilmore, like, I'm sorry, baby, you just made me so crazy.
Is this when his wife shows up?
Missy?
That fucking moron. She is a fucking moron.
Mr. Hart tells Dorley they are perfect for each other because they're married to other people. And thank God his sweet-natured, but maybe a little clueless wife, Missy, shows up.
A little.
Yeah. I'm not saying what I'm getting ready to say is okay, but it is the truth. If someone who looked like Dorley was my husband's secretary, I would be posted up outside of that office 24/7. I wouldn't be mad at Dorley because she's gorgeous, not her fault.
Yeah.
But I'd be looking at my spouse like, you motherfucker, I've got eyes on you.
I think we both know I wouldn't be like, I'd be making friends with her.
You would.
You flirting with my husband? All right, let's go to trivia together.
No, I would be nice to Dorley. But man, she's gorgeous.
You'd hate the bitch.
Oh, kind of.
What's the score?
Why?
'Cause I know you're looking at it.
They're winning 17-14, the bad guys are.
The bad guys. They're not the bad guys. They're just the other team. Is this where there's an Italian slur? Yeah, because his wife wants them to go on a trip, and like on an Italian boat, and he says, "I think you know, it's a slur.
No, I don't.
It's an Italian slur.
Golf.
No, an Italian slur. It's not doggo.
Gnocchi. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Drink. We drink to slurs. I'm not waiting. You drink. I meant if you're the pro, you have to drink for the slurs.
The Split Happens sisters do not approve of slurs of any kind.
I remember our last episode. It was now.
The fact that there's one of these in this movie is what's impressive. Mr. Hart is not great at giving feedback, and I, for one, can't wait for something terrible to happen to him.
I agree with that. I also can't wait for something bad to happen to him.
Which is not unusual for me in general. Like, if I'm reading a book, which I almost always read mysteries, I'm like, God damn, what's the body count? We're like 10 pages in. No one's died yet.
You're so goddamn sick.
I'm like that in movies, too, where someone's a shithead. I'm like, God, haven't they fallen down the stairs yet?
I bet you know 20 ways to hide a body.
Of course I do.
I like that you were not indignant, but you're like, who doesn't know how to hide a body in this economy?
We meet Judy's estranged husband, and guess what his name is?
Dick.
Dick.
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He's a dickhead.
He's a dickhead. Someone has not been named more accurately than the shoe Ugg.
Ugh. Dick.
Dick.
Yeah, that's a really unfortunate name. Who the fuck?
He's like, yeah, can you sign this? I got to go to Mexico with my girlfriend, who's also my secretary.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
Yeah, Dick sucks. That's after she's using the copier.
She had some problems with the Xerox.
Oh, yeah, what kind of fucking copier is that? That doesn't make sense.
It's a big one. This is a big company.
What is this? NORAD? Is that what it's called? NORAD?
Was Dabney Coleman in that also? War Games.
War Games?
Yeah.
He sure was.
Yeah, he was. War Games.
He was in charge of the Whopper.
Okay.
You know what? You know what else he was in that?
What?
A dickhead.
He was a dickhead. You know, he kind of got typecast a little bit. Like, he was a dickhead in Tootsie.
You know what he wasn't a dickhead in?
What?
Cloak and Dagger.
Oh, so good. I put something wrong in my notes. And I know I did.
That's unlike you.
Fuck off. My note says Roz is taking a quick morning nip from the old flask. It's not Roz.
No.
Who is it?
Maureen?
Atta girl. That's all I know about her. That fucker, Mr. Hart, steals Violet's brilliant idea to color code the accounts, which I don't know how that makes a difference in this situation, but you know your girl loves color coding.
You do.
I do.
Can I ask you a question here?
Sure.
What exactly does this company do?
Paper.
They do paper.
They do shipments.
Shipments?
Mm-hmm.
Of what?
Screws. And buckets.
Screws and buckets. Stop looking around.
And pets. And cemeteries.
Yo, Kaiser Soze.
It's all, you know, they do a lot. They're multifaceted.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But, so they have a product.
Yeah, wands.
What, are you looking at Harry Potter books?
You know what?
Huh.
Because they don't waste their time telling you stuff that no one cares about. They're focused on character development.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So the Atta girl lady?
Yeah.
What's that character's name?
Georgina.
It definitely is not.
I swear to God, if anyone calls these grown-ass women girls again, this is so true to
I'm gonna vomit.
That era. There's some thinking that the amazing movie Working Girl was based off of this movie. It was a very women empowerment. To me, they're two standalone movies, and I don't see it.
I don't like that.
I know.
I don't like that. I mean, there are so many movies. Oh, God, you know, I don't go on any like feminist rants, that type of thing. I really don't.
That's my job.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't take a whole lot of concrete stands one way or another unless it's about sugar. Unless it's about...
You said it, not me, Toots.
Unless it's about weight versus volume, I don't really take a hard stance. However, I don't like that there's like two like movies from the 80s that are about women in a profession, like in the professional world, and somehow that must mean that they're like influenced by each other. They could just be two movies that exist in the same world, like 1,000 other movies that are male centric, male dominated, that might be a similar theme, but nobody's like, that's the same movie. Well, that's based off of that movie. It's like, no, it's not.
You know what is a true thing? That is actually the first not dumb thing you've said when you've been the con on a movie.
Thank you.
I totally agree. There's another school of thought was that The Devil Wears Prada was also a riff on this.
Of course it was. Why wouldn't it be?
Which again, they're completely different movies.
Fuck it. Hocus Pocus. I bet Hocus Pocus was based off of this movie. You know why? Because it has women in it.
Do you think the new Hocus Pocus is going to be good?
I
Hope so.
think so.
I do too.
I
think I'm going to like it either way, and I don't give a fuck. Mr. Hart tells Violet he has passed her up for a well-deserved promotion because he's a dickhead. And Violet has lost all of her fucks.
Yeah. You know where she's going to go
Charlie's.
take her folks to the bar?
Got it, girl.
Dorley comes in and Violet calls her Mr. Hart's mistress, and Dorley promptly loses all her fucks. Because she's like, where did you get that from? And she's like, you know who? From him.
From him.
Uh-huh. She tells Mr. Hart, I've got a gun in my purse and I can change you from a rooster to a hen with one shot.
She just threatened to shoot him. That's assault, brother.
He's a dickhead.
He is a dickhead, but
Yeah.
in a court of law, that doesn't matter.
Everyone leaves to get drunk at Charlie's, and Violet comes up with the brilliant idea of getting a little lifted from the joint her son gave her.
Got it, girl.
Judy says, I smoked a marijuana cigarette and I didn't see what the big deal was. You know what that reminded me of. Obviously, the one and only time I ever had a marijuana cigarette was in a state where it was legal. And I probably said for an hour and a half, I don't feel any different. And I just said that over and over again.
Probably because it was your one and only time.
Right. I think they gave up their fucks. They went to Charlie's. They decided to have an old-fashioned ladies' pop party. Have some ribs. They're like mega stoned. They're silly. Everything's making them laugh. They want to eat.
Oh, let's talk about murdering our boss. How would you murder him? I'd murder him this way. Oh, that's silly. I'd murder him this way.
Yeah, that sounds like a perfect night for me.
It's murder.
Yeah, what else? So here's where the fantasies start.
Okay.
Her fantasy is about Mr. Hart being hunted down by all the people in the office he's shit on, and Judy ends up stuffing him like a deer.
After she shoots him.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Yeah.
Her fantasy is very graphic.
Yeah.
She wants to shoot her boss in the stomach with a shotgun.
Yeah. He's
And
a dickhead.
And then dislocate his head from his body.
She wants to take his face off.
She wants to take his face off and then mount it on the wall.
Yeah.
Do you know how... I just want to ask, do you know how difficult it is to saw through a head?
No, I don't.
To saw through a neck, to remove a head? I assume it would be quite difficult.
Okay, so then Dorley fantasizes about being a female Mr. Hart. This scene, I don't know how you criticize this movie, but this scene where Dabney Coleman plays sort of the subservient secretary is so funny. And I'll say this over and over again because, like everyone should be, I'm obsessed with Dolly Parton. I really think she's really good in this movie, especially if you think of it in the context of it being her first movie. She's really funny, kind of being like the asshole boss and being like really misogynistic. And she's like, you smell good. What are you wearing? He goes, stud.
Yeah.
She ends up hog-tying him and puts him over a fire.
Again, murdering him.
Yeah. It's great. Violet fantasizes about how she would off him, and it's so sweet and fairy tale themed. She's Snow White, kind of. And the animated characters are sort of Disney characters, but they're knockoffs because...
Those are real close to
I know,
Disney.
they're real close, but they're not because they would have had to pay a shit ton of money to Disney.
That's in my thing. I was like, these are Disney characters. How'd they get away with that?
They're not exact. But what's funny now is Disney...
They look like from Robin Hood.
I know, but they're not the same.
I have watched the Robin Hood Disney cartoon a number of times because it triggered a sexual awakening in me for a fox.
Well, I have watched the live action Robin Hood with Kevin Costner, and it created a sexual awakening in me for Alan Rickman.
But was he a fox?
Yes, stone cold.
Have inappropriate thoughts about, an animated animal and then come back and talk to me. He had a British accent. What do you want me to do?
Oodalolly, oodalolly.
Golly, that was a day. Snow White would never poison anyone.
Sure she would. She poisons his coffee. The look Fantasy Violet gives the animals is hysterical because they're like kind of aghast, and she's like, It's so good. Then Violet catapults him out of the window.
She projects him out the window to where he would, ostensibly fall to his death.
Yeah.
Probably onto an unsuspecting... You know what? He probably fell onto an unsuspecting person down below. And now they're dead. They probably had a child. You know what? I bet it was a person walking their puppy.
No, none of that happened.
Okay.
The scene where Judy and Dorley and Violet are on Dorley's front porch. Judy is sitting on a porch swing. Lily Tomlin took that.
Took the porch swing.
She took the porch swing.
Not like a scarf.
No, but Jane Fonda took the box of rat poison.
Jesus Christ, ladies.
Well, and Dolly Parton, who's the smartest of them all, took all of her wardrobe and has it on display in Dollywood.
Oh. So they weren't like, I took the office building.
No, yeah, but see, even back then, though, Dolly's like, I'm going to make some money off this shit. Go ahead and take your porch swing and we fall apart in 3 years.
She's old Kentucky.
Yeah, she is. If there are parents out there and you want a book to read to your child, but you're that kind of parent or adult who has to like really choke back tears when you read books, buy the children's book that Dolly Parton wrote, The Coat of Many Colors. Yeah. Suckers.
For choke back tears?
Oh, yeah.
I gotta be honest, I'm like that with the Grumpy Monkey.
Well, yeah, that makes total sense to me. It's like your biography.
Yeah, it gives me a little, where my tears should be.
Well, yeah, because at the end of it, the basic premise is sometimes you're just grumpy and you don't have to have a reason, and it's okay to just be grumpy.
Yeah, the whole time he's just trying to be...
They're like, what do you have to be grumpy about? It's nice outside. I have fucking depression.
I like whenever I start to try and produce a tear, my poor empty tear duct's like, poof.
Okay, so Violet accidentally puts rat poison instead of...
Skinny and sweet.
Skinny and sweet.
That looks exactly like the rat poison box.
Yeah, that's problematic. In Mr. Hart's coffee, and she thinks she's poisoned him, but he actually hit his head because of the faulty chair. Dorley finds him. She calls an ambulance, so he's going to the emergency room. Violet realizes that she's accidentally put the poison in his coffee. She gets Judy. They go to the hospital. And they think he's dead.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to talk about the doctor that's there?
What about him?
That guy's a doctor.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. Night shift.
Does not look like a legit doctor. He looks like the air quotes doctor that you get to prescribe meds to you that a normal doctor would not.
Well, so the women, not girls or broads or girlies, but the women think that Mr. Hart is dead. So Doralee and Judy go to do something responsible, and Violet, who's a little reactive, she has 4 children, she's widowed, she's got a lot going on. She decides that if there isn't a body, that they can't do an autopsy, which I know in theory sounds crazy, but to me it kind of makes sense.
I don't know why you're talking about her like she has some kind of hardship life. You already said she's widowed.
She's down from 5 children to 4.
Whoever is complaining. I bet she can poop with the door wide open.
No, she still has 4 kids.
Are we still in the hospital? Because there is a dead body just hanging out in the hallway.
Okay. So, this is in,
It's more or less 1980 bullshit.
no, but this particular hospital is a teaching hospital. And in teaching hospitals, everybody knows that before they take the corpses down to the morgue, they leave them out in the hallway because residents they're like going through really fast. And so the resident can kind of just go by and they're like, look at them and like, get some experience and then move on to the next dead body.
I don't think you were like digging your hands in. Like,
And then just like, boop,
like
boop.
giving a little like peekaboo.
Yeah. Just kind of open up the chest cavity a little bit.
Air it out.
Yeah.
Probably don't want to do that because right like 2 feet away is a doctor smoking in the hallway too. So
Dude, that was the fucking 80s.
that was the 80s.
Yeah.
There's a doctor smoking in The Exorcist. Oh, this is a side note. But do you know that there's somebody in The Exorcist?
Which one?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
Like an extra. He's in the scene in the hospital. He's one of the like radio techs or like when they're taking the brain scans of her
okay.
or whatever.
Like a tech, yeah.
Yeah, a tech there. Do you know who that is?
New?
That is a fucking serial killer.
Wait, what?
Yes, it is a real serial killer. I can't remember where he's from, but he targeted specifically gay men in clubs, stuff like that. So that's him. It is that serial killer. He is in that movie.
Are you tricking me? Because what I'm hearing you say is, I can fulfill my desire to be a serial killer and be in a movie.
Wow.
Don't give me false hope.
That was a massive leap there.
What?
I can't believe you would even say that. I know for a fact you would never be in a movie.
A follow-up question.
Yes.
He was a known serial killer.
No. Okay.
So I would still have to get into a movie on my own merit, not like being a serial killer?
Well, yeah.
Okay, well,
Who
that's never going to
casts
work.
an actual serial killer?
That's what I was excited about. All right, fine. Be a therapist.
Was that your plan? Was
Well-
like step 1, serial kill. Step 2, step 3, movie.
It wasn't until you just set me up to think that was a possibility.
I wasn't setting you up at all.
I didn't even know that was a dream I could have.
It shouldn't be.
One of my favorite parts is Violet is walking through the hospital with the body, which she thinks is Mr. Hart, and a candy striper. Kids. A candy striper is what they used to call volunteers in a hospital. The candy striper's like, hey, do you know where the coffee shop is? And Violet's just like talking to her casually for a few minutes. And the candy striper notices that she's wearing a badge. And she's like, oh my God, you're a doctor. And Violet's like, oh yeah, I am. What the hell am I talking to you for? Piss off. It's so funny, right?
I don't remember it all. I don't recall.
Violet slightly overreacts and goes speeding off. She does crash. But thank God Doralee with her.
That's not responsible.
Well, she's stressed. Doralee goes to the trunk to get a tire iron. Tire iron.
Oh boy.
Tire iron.
I'm just gonna. I feel like I got a front row seat to you working this one out.
Wait, tire iron.
There you go.
Is that right?
Yeah. You know what isn't right?
What?
Tire iron.
What? Why is this difficult? She goes to get a tire.
It isn't.
Okay. Basically,
That thing.
Doralee goes to the trunk to get something that fixes things. and she notices that the body is not Mr. Hart, which is so funny. She's like, Judy, can you come here for a second?
She seems real nonplussed.
Well, you know what? She's great in crisis. She's a mom. Do you know what the license plate says?
Snatch.
No. It says secretaries do it 9 to 5.
Oh.
Clever, huh?
Huh.
Right?
Gross.
Like, oh my God, really? It sounds exhausting.
Oh, yeah, Jesus.
They drop the body off at the hospital. The next day, the trio sees that Mr. Hart is in the office. The ladies go to the bathroom to celebrate him being alive, but that bitch Roz is hiding in a stall and tells Mr. Hart everything.
Nasty hoe.
She's awful. Mr. Hart blackmails Dorley. Dorley, a woman of action, ties Hart up, and then they head to Hart's house. This is one of my... Actually, when I think about the hierarchy of things that I like in this movie, this next line is one of my absolute favorite lines, because they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with him. They've got him tied up. Dorley says,
Well, I say we hire a couple of wranglers to go upstairs and beat the shit out of him.
Violet learns that Hart has been embezzling money, and they decide they need to keep him contained while they compile evidence.
Even though he's a bad guy, they've got him tied up in the bed and his hands are up, and that would suck because his hands would fall asleep.
Oh, boo. Fuck that guy. The containment apparatus that they have him in is hysterical, down to the studded collar.
Yeah, I mean, these are strong, independent women and all, but how are they able to come up with this entrapment?
They're smart. You saw earlier Violet fixed the garage door opener.
Judy couldn't figure out a copier, and I took shop. This would be very difficult.
Judy has grown. Dolly is a wrangler, and Violet can fix garage door openers.
So they can create this
Yes.
thing? It even has like a ding. They created like a sound effect for whenever it...
Why are you shocked by this? You can put anything together.
Well, thank you, for one, but not with a ding.
You definitely could.
Maybe, but it seems odd.
No, I'm being dead serious. You could totally do that. The broads start making some changes around the office, and Hart starts getting into Days of Our Lives, which I think is so funny.
Oh my God. There was something at work that reminded us of, I was talking with Eric about Marlena being possessed by the devil.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And amongst other things.
So then Eric says, because he's never seen the show.
He's never seen Days of Our Lives?
No, he didn't watch that one. He watched a different one. But he goes, wait, she was possessed, like she was just random, like she just like opened something and she was possessed by the devil. I said, no, it was that dastardly Stefano Ribera.
Stefano was such a fucker. Oh God, did Eric watch Young and the Restless?
I think so.
Or Bold and the Beautiful?
I think Young and the Restless. He missed out on Patch and Kayla. Yeah.
Well,
go ahead and think about how great they are considering he raped her.
Okay.
Disclaimer, everyone. This episode's super short. It's because we talked about rape and murder a lot, and not in a bad way.
No. In the good way, as you do.
We talked about rape, murder, and bestiality. Your face says, on the right weekend.
The broads send Roz on a top-secret mission to learn French, which sounds amazing.
Bonjour.
And while Judy is on night duty, her creepy ex-husband shows up.
Ugh.
And he's doing like I'm sorry, baby, you just made me so crazy.
Wait, before we get to that, by the way, I like that they wanted to update the depressing gray color of the lockers to beige.
It's a
From gray to beige.
No, it's not like you say it's beige. It's not like beige.
Oh, it definitely was beige.
It's cream.
It was not cream.
Mm-hmm.
That was not creamy at all. It was beige.
It's like oatmeal.
That
like
was 50 shades of beige. It was one shade of beige.
No, it was like warm, soothing oatmeal with a little bit of brown sugar, no raisins. Beige.
Absolutely not. It was like dirty feet in the sand, beige. It's like your neighborhood.
Okay, that's true. Do you like raisins in your oatmeal?
No.
Okay.
I like a good solid 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar.
Okay, that's
in my bowl of
okay.
oatmeal.
So the right way.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like Judy's ex at all. I said, Judy, he ain't good for you, babe.
No. But
Don't let Dick in. This Dick is not the Dick for you.
No, but she's feeling herself. She's feeling like, you know what? Ever since you banged your secretary, my life's gotten a lot better.
Yeah,
She's feeling good.
Yeah, also, he's wearing a goddamn ascot.
I know. Pretentious prick.
Ugh.
Hart's wife comes back early. She's been on vacation for a few weeks. And the ladies learn Hart has been free for 3 days. And Violet finds out that he has spent that time undoing all of that embezzlement shit.
Wait, you talking about his wife coming back?
Yeah.
Where she calls the person that brought her back she just calls him driver.
I don't recall.
Driver. Get my bags, driver.
Oh. You know what? This is going to sound crazy. His name is actually Driver.
And he chose driving as a profession.
Yep. I mean, when in Rome.
Oh, I add a girl's name down here.
What? Maggie? Margaret. I already said Margaret.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I said Margaret earlier and then I shortened it to Maggie.
No, you said like mash up. Well, it is Margaret. And she went through rehab, and that's a criticism. She was way cooler when she was drunk. I'm not saying people shouldn't go to rehab. I absolutely think that they should.
Yeah.
If they're the right person for that. But Margaret ain't it.
But if you're here for our entertainment, you gotta stay on the sauce.
Margaret seemed happier.
Hart takes the ladies back to the office and says, "Sit down, Violet. I'm getting ready to play my last card and send you bitches to jail."
Excuse me, bitches?
Well, good news. Mr. Tinsworthy.
You mean Colonel Sanders?
Yeah. He shows up, and he's the chairman of the board. And he says there has been a 20% increase in productivity, which clearly Violet is responsible for.
So that should go into raises for the women, right?
One of the things that they implemented while Mr. Hart was all tied up watching Days of Our Lives is equal pay. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, in 1980, how progressive.
Yeah. You can see Mr. Tinsworthy, or the actor who is playing him, look off screen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He needed cue cards.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
There was nobody. I bet somebody else auditioned for this. It's like, God damn it.
Mr. Tinsworthy is clearly pleased with Mr. Hart and decides to send Hart to Brazil.
After he says that equal pay thing, though, that's got to go.
Well, he liked the paint and
the beige.
He loves oatmeal, and he liked the daycare, and he liked the job sharing. He liked a lot of things.
Just not paying women equally.
Well, it was 1980. It was an uphill battle. So Mr. Hart gets sent to Brazil. The ladies start celebrating, and they are, if you notice in the scene, they're wearing red, white, and blue.
Christ.
What's wrong with that? It's America.
Or Russia.
Pray wait. Russia's colors are not red, white, and blue.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Stop it. Okay, and then we get some on-screen text, a little bit of an update. Violet is the vice president. Mm-hmm. Judy falls for the Xerox salesman. And Dorley becomes a singer. What is that? Why are you showing me an upside-down American flag?
Okay, there is so much wrong with what you said. You are the worst.
Hart is captured by some Brazilians and never seen again. And to which I say, good riddance, dickhead. Hey, guess what?
The words out of your mouth better be, it's over.
It's over.
It's done. Yes. It's over now.
Oh no, the Chargers are getting ready to score.
Oh, I don't care.
Was this movie like a million times better than you remembered it to be?
I really, really, absolutely enjoy this movie. It was hard taking notes just because it's another one where I did not want to take notes. I just wanted to watch it.
One of the criticisms of it, and I didn't look up criticisms, this was just what I was reading, was that the criticism was that the movie started kind of like light and silly and then got really dark. And I'm like, first of all, duh. but also the original screenplay was like he died, like they killed him with like intention.
Did you happen to realize this movie's like 2 hours long?
Yeah, but I didn't realize it.
It flies.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of filler in this movie. I mean, it really takes advantage of every single minute that it's on. I love it.
I did my notes for 9 to 5 and Mortal Kombat, which we're getting ready to do pretty soon. I did my notes back to back.
Oh, yeah.
And
we're doing Mortal Kombat next.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat felt like it was an hour longer than 9 to 5.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's a silly movie.
You know what's neat about Mortal Kombat and 9 to 5? What they have in common for me personally?
Tits?
What? No.
Oh.
God. I can't hear the name Mortal Kombat or 9 to 5 without immediately thinking of the theme song for both.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good point. The other thing is, Dolly Parton is a singer, an entertainer. Mm-hmm. There are parts of this movie, where there might be, a little bit of awkwardness in her acting. But when you think about this being her first movie, and she's in a movie with Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, Dabney Coleman, I mean, that's a pretty intimidating group of people to be in a movie with.
She didn't seem like she was a bad actress. She seemed green.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. I just remembered who the guy is that's like taking all the notes and stuff. We were like, I recognize that actor, but I can't remember what.
Yeah.
I know where we know him from.
Where? Mr. Tinsworthy had like a sidekick that was taking like notes and everything.
There are 57 bones in the arm.
Oh,
that's
my
one.
God. It's the psychologist from Terminator and Terminator 2.
Yeah.
You are so right. This would have been before Terminator.
He looks young.
He does. This would have been like 6 years earlier than Terminator. How's the knee?
She
she stabbed me with my pen the other day.
Well, this was great. I thoroughly enjoyed this. We'll put up where people can watch this movie.
I know off the top of my head, you can watch it on HBO Max.
Just get an HBO Max.
Yeah. Our logon for HBO Max
No.
is...
Beep. We can't give that out to any more people. They're going to cut us off.
Ooh, the Chiefs won.
Hey, good job.
Ooh, only by 3.
They're a fourth quarter team.
Is there a movie that a singer acts in that does like a really good job? Like in my mind, Sting is really good in Dune.
Off the top of my head, he's very, very good. It's dramatic.
Prince?
No. Which Prince were you talking about?
Prince in...
No. You're talking about Purple Rain? Or you're talking about Under the Cherry Moon? Or are you talking about Graffiti Bridge?
Well, of course I'm talking about Purple Rain.
I like Under the Cherry Moon quite a lot. It's very
Vanity.
Odd, but... Are you just naming Prince prodigies now?
No. Vanity was in Action Jackson.
Where are you going with this?
She was great.
Why are you hopscotching? No, I can tell you a singer that I actually legitimately thought was really, really good in a movie. Dwight Yoakam in Sling Blade.
Holy shit, you got me. Talk about a dickhead.
Yeah.
He was awful.
He was great in that movie, and I don't think I can't remember anything else he was in.
No, he was so good. Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
We want to hear from you. Please let us know. We love, love, love talking to people. You can get a hold of us very easily. We are at Split Happens Pod on all of the socials, every single one of them. And splithappenspod.com is our website. Well,
all right. Bye, Anna Serene.
Oh, bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.